Maria Montessori was an extraordinary woman, and she was born well before her time. She came into my awareness a few months ago when my daughter started working at a Montessori school. But she popped into my third eye a few weeks ago, and she hasn't left. Welcome to my channel. Namaste, dear soul. My name is Shannon. I'm a tarot reader and a medium, and one of the things I wanted to do a little bit more on my channel was to bring through messages from the other side. So a little bit of channeling on my channel, and I've had Maria Montessori on my mind for a few weeks now. She popped in and I saw her in this beautiful dress from like the early 1900s, and she had this butterfly embroidered on the back of her blouse. And you know, butterflies being a symbol of transformation, she came to tell me about her extraordinary life and how she transformed not only herself, but an entire system of learning. And she was amazing. Maria Montessori was born in 1870 in Italy, and she accomplished some things in her life that a lot of women really didn't. She didn't hear no. She did it anyway. She was one of the first women to graduate as a medical doctor in Rome. And she kept pushing forward and breaking barriers throughout her entire life. I don't know if you're aware of the Montessori system of learning, but basically it relies on the child's own divine wisdom and curiosity to drive what they're learning about. So she transformed not only the way children were taught, but how they were taught, the environment they were taught in. She completely transformed a thought process that said someone who doesn't learn in the same way as everyone else isn't smart. In fact, she transformed that thought to understand that no, we all just learn differently. And some people thrive in certain types of environments, and the way to spark learning inside somebody is to help them find that spark within themselves. And that's her main message to you, dear soul, is to find the divine spark and authenticity within yourself. And she lived her life pushing that forward, and she created a system that actually she's pretty amazed at, that it's not only still going, but it's the way of the future. She tells me that the system of Montessori, where you rely on the child to drive the learning, is how we learn in the eternities. It's how our souls learn. Our souls come to incarnate on earth to learn lessons, to expand ourselves. And it's as if Earth School is doing the same thing that she's trying to replicate in the classroom anyway, right? Like, we are just sponges when we show up on Earth. And one of the things that Maria Montessori knew was patterns. She was a Virgo sun, Scorpio moon. So this woman could see patterns. This woman understood what was happening deep inside with the energies. And even if she maybe couldn't articulate that that's what it was, she knew what she was seeing, she knew what she wanted to see happen, and she made it happen. And that was one of those things that's like so extraordinary about the people that change our world, when they have an idea come into their head that they make manifest. And her transformational energy has everything to do with tapping into her own divine source and empowering others to tap into their own divine source and their own divine authenticity. So that's really what it is. She tells us that we all have everything we need. We actually came here to Earth with every single thing we need to exist, to thrive, and actually to be the best we can possibly be. We have everything. You know, we live in a world that tells us we don't have. We live in a world of comparison. We live in a world of lack, of fears, of boxes. And that was one of the things that Maria is telling me over and over, is when you allow yourself to be put in a box, then you don't get to see what extraordinary things can happen when you get out of that. So trust yourself, empower yourself to know that the things that light you on fire are the things that you're supposed to be paying attention to. So I'm going to pull a card from this Star Tarot deck and bring a couple messages through from here. But mainly, Maria Montessori's life was one where she just wanted to create something real, something that mattered. And she says that every single one of us, even if we're not creating this thing that ends up transforming, millions of people's lives like she did, we actually, by transforming ourselves, it doesn't seem like we're transforming millions of lives, but actually we are. As we empower our internal soul, it actually ends up affecting everyone around us, and sometimes we can affect changes in our lives and blessings. We can pull blessings and just gifts into our lives that we don't even know are happening, So she just says that one of the main things is to trust and love yourself. So let's see what card she brings through. Eight of Cups. Beautiful. Look at the imagery on this card. I have a mermaid, I have a rainbow, I have a dolphin. Like, what else? This is really about tapping in to some divinity here. I know the cards maybe not showing up so great, but this is really her message. You are the star. You are the gift. You are the prize of your own life, no matter what anybody else tells you. She had plenty of people telling her no in her life, from authority figures to, friends to partners. And she didn't really accept that. Now, she did live a life where she experienced pain and heartbreak like everyone, like all of us. But she never let that stop her from accomplishing the things she wanted to accomplish. And she never let that stop her from trusting in herself. She felt like she saw something. She tells me she actually dreamt of her system many times, and she would just be in kind of these states of, daydreaming almost, and it would come to her. And so part of what her message is to let go of all of the things that distract you from receiving and tapping into your divine source and your ability to trust your authentic inner wisdom. Wisdom is something that we gain over time. This isn't something we can just necessarily have intrinsically, although absolutely some of us are just wiser than others. But she says that we all have the ability to tap into that inner wisdom, and that our inner wisdom is made exactly for us. We have energy from the universe that we are bringing into this existence with us. So her message is not only about trusting your own divine wisdom and your own divine authenticity, and about, breaking barriers and just creating things in your life that maybe other people say that you couldn't. Her message is also about love and acceptance, because she started out actually being given a classroom of children who she was told had intellectual disabilities. I mean, that's not the words they used at the time, but she looked at these children who she was told were kind of like outcasts. They weren't necessarily able to learn. This is what she was told. And she knew better. She knew better. And she actually didn't look at them as different than other children who seemed to be or were labeled normal. She knew there was something special inside of each one of them. And so she tells us that we put labels on people. And part of her message was to take those labels away, that the labels we put on are not helpful. They're not allowing us to move forward and expand that divine source. So when we do something like label somebody as disabled or label somebody as an other, all we're doing is creating barriers. And she says that, yes, we live in this world of polarity, and there's definitely differences, and it seems like it's easy to compare ourselves to other people and other ways of living and other thoughts, and it's easy to go along with the crowd. It's easy to accept these labels that exist, but she rejects all that, and she says our eternal selves have no label, and don't allow ourselves to be put in some type of box. She took this classroom of children who were told they couldn't learn, and she got them up to supposedly normal children's test scores, and she saw the power of her system of empowerment, and that's really what it was. And like I was saying, it's about love. It's about letting go of the idea that some of us are better than the others, that some of us can learn better, some of us can be better. She broke those barriers. She was told women couldn't do the things she did in her lifetime, and she did them anyway because she understood. She understood her power. So that's one of the main things she sends you, is just empowerment, just love, just light. Accept yourself, love yourself. Tap into your own worthiness, and that's where your power will lie. I'm going to pull another card. Okay, so I started out talking about transformation, and what she showed me was that beautiful butterfly. And I just pulled the death card, and in this deck, the death card doesn't look so scary, but death is about transformation, and she says don't be afraid to let those older parts of yourself die. Don't let the parts of yourself that are stopping yourself live inside of you. Let that go. That's part of what your soul's transforming. So she says don't be afraid of the transformation. Our souls are in endless transformation. It's just, do we fight it or not, or do we go with it? And the more that we go with it, the easier it is for our soul to transform. So don't be afraid of death. Actually, she found the experience of death to be amazing and incredible. So she says that her life experience was one of, yes, an extraordinary life that she signed up for, but she reminds us how extraordinary all of us are. And we all have the ability to affect not only us, but those around us when we love ourselves and tap into our own divinity and wisdom. So that's my message for you from Maria. I hope to hear from her again. But I just send you light and love. Thanks so much for watching. Check out my playlist. I've got some tarot readings, some affirmations, some guided meditations, a lot of different content for you. So if this has helped you out, if you've resonated with this, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Namaste.